Okay, let's look at example 2. This one is called a piecewise graph. In other words, we're going to have two separate pieces to our graph. For the domain x is less than or equal to 2, we will use y equals negative 2x plus 5. But when x is greater than 2, we will use y equals x plus 1. Now, it's very important. You're going to do two different charts for these. It is very important that you include 2 in both charts. The number that I've highlighted in yellow, you must include in both charts. Okay, we need to know what's going on there. Even though the bottom graph doesn't say equal to, you've got to include it. So let's do our first one in purple. We're going to do an XY chart. I want to do at least 3 numbers, and it says x is less than or equal to 2. So I'm going to do 0, 1, and 2. Okay? Now, if I plug in 0 right here, negative 2 times 0 is 0, and 0 plus 5 is 5. So y would be 5. If I plug in 1, negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 plus 5 is 3. So y would be 3. If I plug in 2, negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. And negative 4 plus 5 is 1. So this one would be 1. So let's start our graph. We're going to have a dot at x is 0, y is 5. So we have a dot here. I have a dot at x is 1, y is 3. And I have a dot at x is 2, y is 1. Now I need to talk about, is that an open dot or a closed dot? Because it says equal to right here, that tells me that that dot is going to be a closed dot. So I fill it in. Now I need to draw my line and follow the dots. Now here's a part where people get stuck all the time. They're like, which way do I go? They want to know, do I go down and follow the dots this way? Or do I go up and follow the dots that way? Here's what you do. You look at the number that's highlighted in yellow. You start at x equals 2, which would be right here, and you follow the dots. So I'm going to be going up. So you're going to start at this 2 right here, and then you follow the dots. Now let's do part B. Let's do that one in a different color. We'll do that one in red. So I'm going to do an XY chart, and I'm going to have 2 in my chart. It says x is greater than 2, but I need to include 2. You always include that number on the end. So I'm going to use the numbers 2, 3, and 4, because those are greater. Now if I go up here and I plug in a 2, 2 plus 1 is 3. So I put 3 there. If I plug in a 3, 3 plus 1 is 4. If I plug in a 4, right there, 4 plus 1 is 5. So I put 5 here. Now let's put these on a graph. When x is 2, y is 3. So that would be right here. When x is 3, y is 4. And when x is 4, y is 5. Now I do need to fix one thing, because notice there is no equal to right here. Underneath that, it's just a greater than. So that one needs to be an open dot. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to make this one an open dot at 2, 3. Now again, I've got to decide which way do I follow the dots. Do I follow them down or up? You're going to go to the 2, where x equals 2, which is right here. Okay, you go to x equals 2, and I follow those dots, and my graph would look like that.